welcome. I feel like I look like a really mysterious character from a TV show now. Eyes covered and everything. Can't even see him, can you? Yeah. Well, anyways, welcome back. Got the hat on today because my hair has been a mess, but this is a perfect go-to style. Got the curls. They're not even tied up. It's just in like the hole in the hat in the back. And looks good, easy to do, especially if I had my hair tied back all day, or for like, not all day, for the past few hours. And I just got I'm starting a new hair routine, so I'm kind of trying to figure everything out. And so I just washed out everything I had in it, any bit of product I had. And today's a restart because I found something new while I was cleaning out my bathroom yesterday that I bought a long time ago that I don't think I ever tried. Anyways, this is gonna be an interesting video. We got a lot to talk about for sure. I got I got a lot of news, but anyways, most of the time you might not be able to see my eyes very much. Which honestly, I think it's kind of cool. Like, you're sitting here looking at me like this the whole time. I can barely see myself. Anyways, welcome back. Before we begin, let's say a little prayer, as always, or as I'm trying to do always. Anyways, dear Lord, I want to thank you for this day and everything that you've given us. I want to pray that you would just help me find the right words for today and help me to explain myself. And Lord, I don't know what the person on the other end of the screen is going through, but I just want to pray that you will be with them, whatever they're doing, the good and the bad, and that you would just speak through me today to anyone who needs to hear something specific today. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Well. As we all know, Valentine's Day was a few days ago. Love was in the air, and I was in the gym. Alone. I saw a couple while I was there. They bout caught a 45-pound plate to the head. But you know what? God gives me self-control. That took a lot. Speaking of 45-pound plates, we had a new PR. So proud of myself. Not a 1 rep PR, not 2 reps, not 3 reps. It was somewhere between 10 and 12 reps of. So it's a chest press, but it's a little bit like it's like you start here, right? Hold on, let me. So you start like here, right? And then you kind of push in this way. And then you kind of bring it back out, and then it kind of goes like up like that. I don't know. It's really weird, but it works like the bottom of your pecs here, kind of. Anyways, it's a little weird, but it's one of my favorites in there. And I remember I probably started on that with like 35, and now we're at 245, so 180. So I started with what, 70? Yeah. 35 plus 35 is 70. 70. And I'm pre-cal, and we're over here struggling with basic arithmetic. All right, but yeah, so uh, where's the camera? Yo. So we started with 70, and we're at 180 now. 180. I was supposed to go today, but there's some stuff I wanted to get done, like this. I've been putting this video off for a really long time, and that's something I'm going to talk about later. But like I said, Valentine's Day was a few days ago. So, as you know, there's this girl I talk about almost every time I come on the channel. Beautiful hair, beautiful eyes, beautiful personality, a stunning smile. You know, I could go on and on, but y'all don't want to hear all that. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I'm going to spare the details. Anyways, we had our homecoming a few weeks ago. And it was a rough homecoming. I won't really go into detail about everything that happened, but it snowed, people were sick, someone went missing while we were there. Not like missing, like they just weren't there. They showed up and then they were gone. We don't know where they went. It was a whole thing, but I was actually sick when I went. I was running a fever right before I went. It was like a 100-degree fever, so it wasn't that bad. But right before I went, I popped some ibuprofen, waited for that to go down, and then headed over there for practice. Anyways, so I was able to go with said girl, and it was a good night. It was a good night. I got some good pictures of us. I'm not gonna put them up for other people's privacy, of course. It's not just me in the picture. It's her. It's other people. Anyways, just know it was a good night. It was a great night. I did get her sick though. I did get her sick because a few days later I'm sick again, and I'm like, I can't. I had a meeting that day. I was like, I can't go to this meeting. And then she texted that she couldn't go either because she was sick, and I was like, that was definitely me. Because I was sick and she was like right next to me. You know, like you have to like walk up with like your arm in each other's stuff, and I was like, ah, darn. I didn't mean to, but you know, I think she would have been more upset if I did not show up because I know that was an important event for her. Anyways, that was fun. So, I had been for since like September of 2024, which I've liked her since probably almost March of last year. So it's been almost a year now. And I was like, around September, I was talking to Isaiah about it, and I talked to someone else about it, and I was planning on asking her out, but they should actually wait till after homecoming. So I said I would, and I was planning to wait till after homecoming, right? And so homecoming was coming up. I was like, I gotta do it soon. So I planned to ask her out the Friday, a week after homecoming, the Friday after homecoming, which was a week from then. So that whole week, I'm feeling so nervous. I wasn't completely sure if she would say yes or no. The day before, Thursday, the day before I was planning to do it, I went and somehow my best friend Isaiah, shout out Z, love you, bro. Still don't know how you did this. Somehow he managed to convince me to talk to her mom about it. And I had been so against it the whole time. I was like, there's no way I can go and talk to her mom about it. But honestly, that was so helpful. Like, it made me realize that, well, yes, she might say no, but at the same time, it's like I'm gonna regret it if I don't do it, and we're still gonna be able to move on and stay friends afterwards, and at least it'll be off my chest, and I can move on to new heights, you know, new prospects, whatever you want to call them. And she was really nice about it. She did let me know that she probably wouldn't say yes, but she told me to go for it anyways. And so the very next day, I I'm about to do it. A whole something happened. If you guys really want to hear more about this, I'll make a video on it explaining like actually what happened. But I got a lot more to talk about, and we're almost already 10 minutes in. So I was about to do it. Then a lot happened. There was people and stuff, and I'd already heard some more information, and I was just like down in the gutter. But then I'm sitting in my car, and I get a call from another good friend of mine. I'm gonna shout him out, Braden, and he's like, so they had a game that day. She was on the basketball team, and they both teams were leaving for an away game, and he was like, we're about to leave. You can do it right now. So I'm like, okay, I'll be there in a minute, and I'll walk over there, and Braden, Simon, and Isaiah are in there, and anyways, more stuff happens, and anyways, eventually it's just me and her, and I ask her, and I gotta know. I gotta know. But in spite of that, I did handle it very well, I think. I handled it a lot better than I thought I would. I thought that I was gonna like be like, okay. and then kind of go sit in my car and watch sad Instagram reels for like an hour. But no. Okay, maybe a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. But, I don't know. Sad, whatever. So I gotta know. In the long run, I gotta know. But in light of that, that brings us to today's kind of what we're gonna be talking. Kind of what we're gonna be talking about today. So I noticed that after that, it didn't really hit me hard the day that I did it. I think it hit me harder the next day. Now, mind you, the next day, so I did it that Friday, that Saturday was my birthday. So I was thinking, I was like, even if I'm down this day, I'm gonna get to go, have my birthday and it'll be fun and that'll cheer me up, Anyways, not only did I get rejected the day before, it felt like everything that could have gone wrong on my birthday went wrong. No. That's not true. That's not true. But just there was a lot of wrenches thrown in a lot of plans. We were planning on going out to eat that night for dinner. And anyways, both of my parents were sick that day. And then the friend we were going to take with me, Isaiah, he was sick that day too, so we couldn't have done it. And then, so we ordered food, and I went and picked it up and brought it back, and we had lunch together. But I don't know, it just felt kind of sad to have just a normal day on my birthday, But at the same time, I was like, I look back on it, and it was kind of nice, because I used my birthday as an excuse to not do any homework, and I went to the gym that day. I had a really neat experience at the gym that day. I say that it was just kind of, it threw me off a little bit. I wasn't expecting that. That was nice, but I don't know. And since I was down with the gut, I didn't really appreciate everything that had happened on my birthday. So you can tell, I kind of spiraled. Whoa, sorry guys. I kind of spiraled a little bit. Here, let me get a little closer. Can you see my eyes? Anyways, yeah. Okay, enough about that. On to the actual topic for today. Right? So, I noticed that after I'd gotten rejected, right? I realized really how much I was doing, like how much of my motivation came from doing it for her, like for someone else. And I realized that, well, first off, that wasn't good. If you're doing, well, I'm so bad at explaining. I really wish I planned out this video more, but I also feel like that's kind of part of it. It's like me thinking about while we're on it. It just takes up so much time, and no one's gonna watch the video. But that also doesn't really matter to me that much, honestly. I really don't know. I really don't know how to explain this. So it's like, okay, I can't. I don't think it's. Okay, there we go. I don't think it's necessarily good there's too many little parts to this that I don't think I can really. I don't know why I did that. Man. So I don't really think that you should. I'm just gonna talk. I don't really think that you should put your motivation in doing it for someone else. And I think that in some cases it's okay. and you need to be able to distinguish those personally. But for someone as, I hate to say unimportant, but in the long run, unimportant as a crush. Now, I do value her a lot as a friend, and it's okay to do things for someone as a friend. But when it comes to doing stuff in your daily life, like, I mean, I was I was like, I'm gonna get my homework done and get good grades to impress her. When it's for impressing someone, I think it's wrong, and I realize that now, and I didn't realize it as I was doing it, how much of what I was doing was going to wanting to impress her. And I don't think that that was very healthy. Gosh, I do not like this hat, bro. But my forehead is big. I've been told it's not that bad, and then I like will lift my hair up, and people were like, "It fits my face, sure, but it's still a nice size forehead." I like my cranium. Anyways, is that on? Okay. Anyways, oh, it was a lot sadder than I thought. I can't fully flex it right now. It's still sore, guys. Cut me some slack. Anyways, so after about like a few days after that, and I was kind of starting to feel a little bit better about everything, my friends were called and checked on me. And even though I like to say I don't think I really needed it, but I think I do. I think I did actually. And I really appreciate those people who did that for me. And anyways, I thought about it and I realized that I wanted to sit down and rethink about. So I know that I want to be a different person. I can visualize who I want to be. I want to be organized. I want to be planned out. I want to be like a clean person. I don't know. I don't like it. Organized is a better word for that. I already said that though. Organized, planned out. There's things I want to do in my life that I want to be very good at. But I realized that while I had these goals in mind, and while I had these, like, this ideal that I want to change, I didn't really have a set reason behind it other than that I want to be better. And I don't think that that's necessarily bad, but I do think that it's when it really comes down to it. And but the problem was is I wasn't really changing. If anything, especially after that happened, I kind of went back to an earlier stage in my life. And that was just, unprogress. I regressed. And I think that I knew that I needed to come up with an actual reason for why I was doing all this. So I thought to myself, okay, let's think about what you actually want to change in your life. So first off, there's some habits that I'd like to break. There's a lot of them. I'm not going to go into details. I'll tell one of them. One of them is I've grown into a habit of pulling my sweater. If I have like a hoodie on or something, I'll pull it up over my mouth. And a lot of times I'll like bring it here and then chew on the inside. All right? That's a habit I want to break. Because I don't mind doing this because it's kind of comfy, right? But the chewing is definitely a habit I want to break. Anyway, so I needed to restate my goals. I needed to figure out everything that I wanted to do. I needed to figure out everything that I felt God wanted me to do, which is difficult because you don't really know. You have to feel called to do it. And sometimes you have to make an executive decision and then pray about it and hope that you're on the right path. But as long as you're sincere and it's all what you're doing is moral, I think that God will guide you to where he wants you to be. And I don't think that there's specifically one path he has set out for you. I think there's many paths. Of course, he knows the path you're going to take, but I do think that there is many paths. And free will is something that's, we do have that. And God isn't just a puppeteer in our lives, forcing us to do all this. He just happens to know what we're going to do. Um, Anyways, so all right, little pause break there. Oh, darn, I lost my train of thought. I hate when that happens. Let me think of it. Remember. So I wanted to restate my goals. One of them was breaking habits. One of them is like I want to be better at soccer. I want to get good at photography. I'd like to be good at piano. I'd like to be good at drawing. I'd like to have, keep my good grades up. I'm an all A student right now. This whole high school, my whole senior year, I've had all A's. Don't want to drop that. I'd like to get a job and start making money, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that during the school year. So that's a later thing. I'd like to create a good schedule for me to go off of. I want a healthy diet. I want to be good at I want to be consistent with the gym. I want to be consistent in just like my everyday life, just have a consistent kind of like pattern that I can follow. But, that's so much. That's so much to be doing. And there's some people out there that can balance all that. Where I am right now, I'm not one of those people. So, what I realized was that I need to, like, when I say that I want all this, I mean I want to achieve all of this to its maximum. I want to be pro level at soccer. I want to be like Bach, Beethoven level at piano. I want to be, you know, Leonardo da Vinci in art. I want to be, what's another thing I wanted to be? Whatever. Like, I want to be the best at all of these things, and that's just an impossible task. Like, when you look at all these people who have these talents, right? Like, I have a friend who is very good at soccer. Now, of course, he's not the best, but I'm not saying that I want to be like the best. I just want to be very, very good. But so I took one of my friends. His name is Junior. He does very well in school. He does very well in soccer. And he does very well in piano, right? And he's also pretty good at art. But whenever I really look at how he schedules his time, during soccer season, yes, he's busy with soccer. But outside of that, he's not. And a lot of times when he goes back into it, he has to rebuild the skill up. But he already has the skills because he's practiced little by little every year. And what I took away from that was I don't have to do all of these at the same time. I can space it out over my year. You know, I do think that there's things you need to be consistent with. He's consistent with piano, he's consistent with school. Those are the two things that I would say he's very consistent with. He's not very consistent with art, and I mean, of course, that what had just happened is your skill drops. At this point, I would say that in the areas where he used to be better than me, I think I am better than him now. At some of those, not at all of them, but at some of them, you know. And it's like that's just what happens. But art is something that I kept in my life, right? But I don't practice piano anymore. So I need to figure out what degree of like really what level I want to be on for all of these different things, right? Now, what that made me do was put the importance of each of them in my life. So, one of my main goals is to socialize more. And so we only have a little bit of time left because I don't want this video to be too long. So I'm going to try and condense this, and we might do a part two. We might do a part two. So I guess I could just film the part two right now as soon as I'm done with this. So I wanted to be better at socialize. So for our last point of this video, I'll talk about this. I'll talk about just a little, like a base level of this, and I'll get into it more in the next one. So I wanted to be better at socializing. So I'm putting that at a top priority spot, right? That is like something that will help me for my whole life, is something that actually matters to me and will matter to other people around me. And I've been doing that, right? That's not something you really have to practice. It's just something that happens to happen every day, though. So, the next big thing for me is school, right? Now, of course, with all of this comes time management, but school takes a priority in my life, right? That is like something that I need to do, not just something I can mess around with. So, okay, we're back. School takes priority. Soccer is a hobby. I've labeled it as a hobby. Piano is labeled as a hobby. Art is labeled as a hobby. Now, these are three things that I want to be very good at, so I need to prioritize which one I want to be better at than the rest. Because I'm not going to be able to be insane at all. I can pick one to actually really practice, and then the others I'm going to have to put off to the side. So, I've more or less decided in my mind that art is going to take that priority as a hobby. It's going to be my main hobby. Now, something like baking, that's something I can do if I just do it once a week. I'll get enough practice, but that's not really something I need to practice with. It's just something you need to learn how to do. Maybe like do it, try it a few times, and then the rest of it is just, get up there. The rest of it is just following directions. I don't really want to be able to come up with recipes or whatever. I'm not interested in that. But, with piano, I'd like to get back into it, but not too strenuous. I'm thinking maybe a few times a week, you know? And for soccer, I think that's going to be a seasonal thing. When it comes time around to play soccer, I can put in the work and practice and everything. But outside of that, I'll probably keep it to a minimum. I've also started to get, like, I want to get into snowboarding, but that is a very seasonal thing, and I'm just going to go when I go. That's not something I'm too worried about. Anyways, I think that's about all the time we have for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. There will be a part 2 coming out probably directly after this. And yeah, anyways, stay blessed. Have a good day. Peace.